Come and get your love. Hello visuals, welcome back to the channel, welcome back to Superhero Wednesday, the day of the week where we talk about anything nerdy, weird, fucking pop culture-y, comic booky, gaming, comics, pop culture-y, comics, Lego-y, flex, Funko, comics, pop culture-y, nerdy. It's the day of the week where we just like to get, well, we get down and nerdy every week, whether we're doing Pokemon shenanigans or we're doing a pod with Chris. We're saying, I really like this film, or I'd be like, just my Pokemon cards, or be like a Funko Pop flex. It's always extremely cringe, weird and nerdy inside of Superhero Wednesday. But this week, we have a game review. Yes, that's right. It is the Guardians of the Galaxy game review, and oh my god, what a fucking awesome game. At the time of recording, the game's been out for about a week or so, but I'm done, dusted, 1000 G'd, completed, you know, everything's done, sorted. And there will be no spoilers here. And again, I know by the time this goes up, it's been, it might have been 3 weeks. No, I think it's going to be 2 weeks since the game's been out. But I want to get a lot of people enough time to fully digest the game and see what's going on and find out the stuff that we get to explore for themselves. So there's no spoilers here. I'm just going to tell you how much fun I had playing it. But yes, we do as well have the steel. Oh, can I be asked getting it out? No, I'm going to have to get it out visuals, aren't I? Because I can't leave you hanging. We got the official steel. How beautiful, by the way, is that steel cover? The steel case is just so friggin' cool. What did I just drop there? And I'm going to quickly say I'm so lucky that my lovely, wonderful girlfriend is friends with somebody that works in games, so we're able to use their discount. And I got the steel case and stuff edition and whatnot for a discounted price. So happy with that, especially when you're a broke-ass bitch like me. But Guardians of the Galaxy, what a fucking phenomenal, amazing game. And if I'm correct, I'm pretty sure I am. It's still Square. The people that made the Avengers game, and this for me absolutely destroys the Avengers game. It completely blows it out of the water. This is just personally for me my preference. The Avengers game I loved. It was friggin' awesome. It just wasn't amazing, and it's quite hard for me to play a superhero game and not compare them to the Arkham games because they're my favorite games. They're more Pokemon of all time. And when it comes to superhero games, I'm always like, you can't quite cut Batman. You can't quite cut Batman. This, give it a good shot. The Spider-Man games, even though Spider-Man's my guy, it's hard to talk about the Spider-Man games because I've barely really played them because I'm Xbox and they're PlayStation. But yeah, the Batman's the pinnacle of superhero games for me. This game, without a shadow of doubt, does not fail to deliver. It is the ultimate wacky, crazy, kooky, fun adventure in space that you want out of the Guardians, especially when this is heavily influenced by the Guardians we got from the MCU version, the Guardians of the Galaxy, the live action versions, and it's such a fun, cool, probably really unique adventure to go on with a great, amazing storyline with, I think it's 16 chapters and some really cool fucking badass villains and other characters and heroes and whatnot that pop up that you don't expect. Like, I wasn't expecting to see certain people in this. I was like, oh shit, you're here. Let's talk about this. And it shows you the team at their best moments and at the weakest moments. Star-Lord falling out with Rocket, Drax doing whatever it is, I can't say a bit without a spoiler. Gamora and the mention of, you know, Thanos. Seeing Thanos, I know it's a bit of a spoiler, I'm sorry. You see Thanos and it maybe interact a little bit. It's just so much fucking fun with amazing soundtrack as well. Such a cool soundtrack. And it's my favourite type of game, being that it's just literally, it's just you, a load of missions, or where you go. I mean, I love online stuff, you know, Rocket League or doing a few Pokemon battles or whatnot. But I love when it's just a story because I love games for their story. That's why I love the Arkham games, where it's just you and you're basically just fulfilling this story and seeing it out and seeing where it goes and how it plays and whatnot. It's so fucking fun. Flying around in the Milano. You only play as Star-Lord, which again I'm absolutely fine with, and but you do get to interact with the other Guardians members, but they are NPCs. But you're mainly Star-Lord. You get these little weird but really cool flashback sequences between you and your house when you were taken up into space. It's a different version as opposed to the MCU version, but again, it's all their own unique story. And you do get to somewhat interact with the NPCs, the other Guardians. During your fight sequences, if you want Drax to come in and beat somebody up, or Gamora to come in with a slash and dash, or Groot to come in with his vines and do some grabbing or hitting, or Rocket to just blow shit up, you can do that. But the best and one of the greatest key functions is you get a cassette player at the bottom right, and once it's fulfilled, I can't remember what it's called now, you can fill it up and you press both bumpers, RB and LB, and the team comes together and you have like a team huddle in the middle of a battle, and you have an option whether to give a good speech or a bad speech. But no matter what happens afterwards, a kick-ass song comes in. 9 times out of 10 it's a kick-ass song, and you're just blasting away at villains and enemies and all the shenanigans, listening to these mental tunes that Starlord will listen to, and it's just so much friggin' fun, and it's so great, and his guns, his blasters are such a pivotal component to this story, because you unlock 4 elemental sort of features for these blasters, and they interact with you in a certain way, because the whole point is, you know, Star-Lord's father come down to Earth, meet his mother, he left him these guns interact with him, and they can change and go elemental wind, or ice, or there's flame bursts, or there's electric and stuff. So fucking cool and so badass, and Star-Lord looks amazing. You can imagine it's just sort of the look we got from the Guardians of the Galaxy films, but the leather jacket's slightly different, but the mask's slightly different. I really like the mask. And I haven't seen any Funko Pops yet. I hope we get some Gameverse Funkos, because I finished all the Avengers ones. I want to do the Guardians ones. It's so friggin' cool. Unlocking the different uniforms, seeing the different collectible items, because you find these different collectible items, bring them back to Milano, and you can interact with Drax or Gamora and say this is this, and this is why I like this, and seeing a different side of these characters. I mean, again, on paper, they all are pretty much the same Guardians we've had for years, and they are very, very good sort of mirror images of the ones we get from the films, but just a slightly different twist and take and aesthetic look. But honestly, it's been such a while since I've had... I mean, most games that I play, because I'm very, very picky with games, but usually I tend to have a hell of a lot of fun. But it's been a while since I've had this much fun. I think the last great, crazy amount of fun was probably Man-Eater. Obviously the Pokemon and stuff. And this time, at the time of recording, it's actually a week from the day of Pokemon Brilliant Diamond and Shining Pearl coming out. And I know I'm going to have fun playing them. I don't need to say that. So it's been a good while. Of course, it's fairly, it's not too impactful. I've done a couple of playthroughs already in this short space of time. There are a few different ways you can go with, because it's all when you're all talking, you can choose which things for Star-Lord to say, or how to interact with different characters or different scenarios you can go. I agree with Gamora, I agree with Rocket, or whatever it may be, which is a cool, fun element. But I love just being you, Star-Lord, well, just being Star-Lord. You're with the Guardians, and you're trying to unravel this extremely kooky, mental, weird story, which I wouldn't have chosen to explore. But I'm glad that somebody else made the game, because they made the story we did get to explore so much fucking better, because I would have just made something dumb and stupid and crap and no one would have that was shit. But these lot have done a really great job, and it's blew the Avengers out of the water. And the Avengers you get to play as everybody, and you certainly, like, you've recently just got Spider-Man, the Black Panther shenanigans has happened, but I love just being Star-Lord. It was fucking fantastic. The game's going to get a solid 10 out of 10, I'll tell you that now. I am really easy to please. Well, I'm picky, but I always want my games to be the same things. I'm not massive on open worlds. I'm not too bothered. I just like a great story, and I love to see how the story unfolds. And this way you get to somewhat interact with how the story unfolds. Seeing mental different alien races and whatnot inside of the game. Being in nowhere and exploring nowhere. Doing a couple of space battles in the Milano is always fucking fun and a massive plus side. Seeing a few obscure and a few characters that really make sense, but seeing a few obscure ones is just nuts. Seeing how they do their own silly little shenanigans and their own unique Guardians take on how a game should be played and how it should look visually and how different scenes should lay out. It's fucking awesome. It's flawless. I have nothing to fault. Isn't overly long. I think about 16 hours or so to complete, and the achievement side, you'll get 75% of the achievements on your way through anyway. Seeing you combine with the different Guardians and do all your wish, I guess. A couple of little puzzles aren't too hard. You'll crack them quite relatively easy, and each chapter has its own unique area and stuff. You can go and explore, look for collectibles and hidden items, great weird villains, loads of different monsters. One big badass dragon. That's a clue to a spoiler. See if you can guess who. Amazing game. Massive 10 out of 10. I think you can tell visuals. I absolutely enjoyed Guyz Galaxy. It was fucking amazing, the game. Visually as well, in terms of graphics and whatnot, looked amazing. There's some moments where there's some really bright, crazy colours going on, and it just looks flawless and beautiful. Never had any weird buggy issues or glitches or anything like that. Just full on outstanding. Great soundtrack, great voice casting. Not that I know any of the actors that did the voices, but they all fit perfectly. Great take on a Guardian story and who the Guardians are as characters and who they are as a team. Awesome soundtrack, which I think I've already just said. Great list of villains. Great list of characters that come in that some, like I said, you don't expect, and some people might be able to call it. All round, fucking massive 10 out of 10 game for me. I fucking loved it. There we go, visuals. There was my thoughts and opinion in this non-spoiler review of Guyz Galaxy, the video game. Let me know what you think. Let me know if you loved it, hated it, maybe one of the worst games you ever played. Which Guardian you loved the most? Did you enjoy that it was just Star-Lord and you didn't switch? The story that it told. Where does it rank in any of anything you want to say on it, from its game design to its story, whatever it is? Let me know in the comments below. But visuals, that was my non-spoiler review for Guyz Galaxy. Go get it if you haven't already. I highly recommend. Visuals, 10 out of 10. There we go. Superhero Wednesday done. Dustin, another one in the book, another issue down. But please give me any thought and opinion you have of the game and visuals. You guys are literally the fucking best. Thank you for letting me sit here, set up a camera, play Guardians and tell you what I thought of it and what I think of it. I fucking love you guys so much. I felt like I was getting a little depressed there. I love you guys so much. You mean the world to me. Visuals, it would be an honour if you would Wabuski and Shanuski. Yeah, anything you want, let me know. Visuals, you guys are literally the fucking best. Thank you so much for watching. Remember, keep being you and keep on web slinging out.